our daily life to do work, such as we use broom to clean floor, hammer to pass nail into a wall, scissor to cut clothes or papers. These all are called simple machine. These tools are called simple machine. Do these tools work automatically? No. We apply force on them to do work. So the tools are devices which make our work easier and faster and in convenient way is called simple machine. Now, advantages of simple machine. That means how do simple machine work? One number, they transfer force from one point to another point. We use a spoon to open a tight lid of tin can. We apply force at this point and force transfer to that point and we can open the lid of tin can. So simple machine transfer force from one point to another point. Next point is they change the direction of force. We can use pulley to show that pulley helps to change the direction of force. In this way we apply force downward and the load lifted upward. So pulley can change direction of force. It helps us by changing the direction of force. They magnify the applied force. We use crowbar to move heavy stone. In this way they magnify the applied force. Now simple machine increase the rate of doing work. We use knife to cut vegetables. In this way, they increase our work. While we use knife to cut vegetables, it increases the rate of doing work. Now, types of simple machines. Simple machines are of 6 types. Lever, wheel and axle, pulley, inclined plane, screw and weight. Now lever. Lever is a rigid bar that rotates about a fixed point that is called fulcrum. Now on the position of effort, load and fulcrum, lever is divided into 3 types. First class lever, second class lever and third class lever. In first class lever, what is in the middle? Fulcrum is in the middle. In second class lever, load is in the middle. And in third class lever, effort is in the middle. First class lever is that lever in which fulcrum lies in between load and effort. Now I am going to show this one is scissor. This tool is scissor. We apply force at this point. So this point is called effort. The force applied on a machine is called effort, and the point to which it rotates is called fulcrum, and the load and the work done by machine is called load. So in first class lever, fulcrum lie in between effort and load. And now in first class lever, the distance from load to fulcrum is called load distance, and the distance from fulcrum to effort is called effort distance. In first class lever, if load distance and effort distance may or may not be equal, and so first class lever helps us by changing the direction of force, by magnifying the applied force and increasing the rate of doing work. Example of first class lever are scissor, crowbar, beam balance, dhiki, etc. Now next topic is second class lever. In second class lever, what is in the middle? Load. Load is in the middle. Second class lever is that lever in which load lies in between fulcrum and effort. The distance between fulcrum to load is called load distance, and the distance between fulcrum to effort is called effort distance. Look at here, which is greater, effort distance or load distance? Effort distance is greater than load distance. In second class lever, effort distance is greater than load distance. So, second class lever help us by magnifying the applied effort, because effort distance is greater than load distance. Example of second class lever is bottle opener. Now this is bottle opener. Now the point at which it rotates is fulcrum. In the middle load, the force applied on it is effort. In this way we use bottle opener is a second class lever. Another example of second class lever is nutcracker wheelbarrow. Now third class lever. Third class lever is that lever in which what is in the middle? Effort. In third class lever, effort is in the middle. Third class lever is that lever in which effort lies in between fulcrum and load. The distance from fulcrum to effort is called effort distance, and the distance from fulcrum to load is called load distance. Which distance is greater? Load distance. In this lever, load distance is greater than effort distance. Load distance is greater than effort distance. In third class lever, load distance is greater than effort distance. So, third class lever help us by increasing the speed of doing work. Third class lever does not help us to magnify applied effort, because in third class lever, effort distance never greater than load distance. In third class lever, load distance is greater than effort distance, so it helps us by increasing the rate of doing work. Example of third class lever are knife, broom, shovel, etc. Now, our next simple machine is wheel and axle. Have you seen steering of vehicles? It is made up of two cylinders of different diameter. Wheel and axle is made up of two cylinders of different diameter. The smaller cylinder is called axle and bigger cylinder is called wheel. Wheel and axle is made up of two cylinders of different diameter mounted to spin with that axle. While axle move, wheel also move. Example of wheel and axle are steering of vehicles, spanner, screwdriver, etc. Now our next topic is pulley. Pulley is a circular disc. Pulley is a circular disc having groove at its circumference. Pulley is a circular disc having groove at its circumference through which rope is passed. Load is hung at one end and we apply effort at another end. Now, types of pulley. There are two types of pulley: fixed pulley and movable pulley. Fixed pulley do not move up and down along with load. For example, you can see fixed pulley in wheel and flag. So, fixed pulley help us by changing the direction of force. Fixed pulley is used in wheel and flag. Now next, movable pulley. Movable pulley moves up and down along with load. In such type of pulley you can see in cranes. Movable pulley help us by magnifying the applied effort. Now when fixed pulley and movable pulley work together, it is called mixed pulley or block and tackle. So mixed pulley help us by changing the direction of force and by magnifying the applied effort. Now next topic is inclined plane. While going up and down, we use staircase. Staircase is an inclined plane. An inclined plane needs less effort to climb up, and inclined plane needs less effort rather than vertical surface. So inclined plane, slanted surface is called inclined plane. For example, staircase, ladder, winding roads on hills. Winding roads are made on hills to increase effort distance, to make the surface inclined, and to increase effort distance, which magnifies the applied effort. Now next topic is screw. You can see screw nail at your home. The screw nail is a simple machine having threads over its cylinder. Screw nail is a simple machine having threads over its cylinder. The distance between two threads is called pitch. Screw is a simple machine having threads over its cylinder. Another example of screw is jack screw, which help to change the wheel of vehicles. Now next, wedge. Next simple machine is wedge. Wedge is a simple machine having one end sharp, another end blunt, one end sharp. The wedge is a simple machine having one end sharp. Another example of wedge is axe and nail, pointed nail are the example of axe. Blade is also example of wedge. After studying the lesson, we have two conceptual questions. One number, a pair of scissors is an example of both wedge and lever. Why? A pair of scissors has one end sharp, so it is a wedge, and it rotates about a fixed point called fulcrum, so it is a lever. Another question, a string roller is a wheel and axle, not a pulley. Why? Wheel and axles are attached rigidly with each other, but pulley is not attached with axle, so a string roller is a wheel and axle, not a pulley. According to the syllabus of class 6, this much for them, but we will be continue with class 7 and 8. Thank you. Our next topic is principle of machine. The work done in machine is called input work, and the work done by the machine is called output work. Input work L into E into ED, and output work L into LD. In a perfect machine or ideal machine, input work is equal to output work. But in practice, perfect machines are not found because they have friction on them. So in that case, input work is always greater than output work. Now our next topic is mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage is equal to load by effort. So the ratio of load to effort in a machine is called mechanical advantage. Now load and effort are two forces. The unit of load is Newton and unit of effort is also Newton. Their unit cancelled, so they have mechanical advantage have no unit because they are the ratio of two forces. a mechanical advantage has no unit because they are the ratio of two forces. Mechanical advantage is affected by friction. As friction greater the friction, mechanical advantage will be lower, and vice versa. So to increase mechanical advantage, we reduce the friction in a machine. Now next topic is velocity ratio. The ratio of effort distance to load distance in a machine is called velocity ratio. The unit of distance is meter. So velocity ratio also have no unit because it is the ratio of two distances. Velocity ratio does not depend on friction. So the value of velocity ratio is greater than mechanical advantage. Now next topic is efficiency. The percentage of ratio of work output to work input is in a machine is called efficiency. Efficiency is also denoted by eta. So eta is equal to L into LD is equal by E into ED into 100%, or eta is equal to, efficiency is equal to L by effort, load by effort divided by effort distance by load distance into 100%. Now efficiency is equal to load by effort means mechanical advantage. So we can write mechanical advantage in place of load by effort, and effort distance by load distance, velocity ratio is equal to effort distance by load distance. So in place of effort distance by load distance, we can write velocity ratio. So efficiency is the ratio of mechanical advantage to velocity ratio in a machine. Efficiency is the percentage of ratio of mechanical advantage to velocity ratio is called efficiency. Look at the diagram and solve the numerical problem. Here 500 Newton load is given. 500 Newton load is given and 200 Newton force is applied in the crowbar, and the distance between, this is fulcrum, the distance between fulcrum to load is called load distance, and the distance between fulcrum to effort is called effort distance. Okay, so we have force applied is 500 Newton, effort applied 200 Newton, load distance is 25 centimeter and effort distance is 80 centimeter. To find, first we have to write, we have load is equal to 500 Newton, effort is equal to 200 Newton, effort distance is equal to 80 cm, load distance is equal to 25 cm. Now we have to calculate first mechanical advantage. The formula of mechanical advantage is load by effort is equal to, load is 500 Newton and effort is 200 Newton. 2.5. Mechanical, as we know, mechanical advantage has no unit. So the answer of mechanical advantage is 2.5. Now B number, we have to find out velocity ratio. The formula of velocity ratio is effort distance by load distance. We have effort distance 80 cm and load distance 25 cm. So velocity ratio has no unit, so the answer is 3.2. Velocity ratio is 3.2. Now C number, we have to find efficiency. Efficiency formula: mechanical advantage by velocity ratio into 100%. So efficiency is equal to mechanical advantage. We have 2.5 divided by 3.2 into 100%. By the calculation, we have 78.12%. The efficiency of crowbar is 78.12%. This much for today. We will see in next video. Till then, bye.